วัสดีครับอาจารย์ครับผมเอาละฮะเอาครับเดี๋ยวโทษนะครับอาจารย์เลยนะฮะครับเดี๋ยวผมส่งเข้าไปเลยครับครับครับ
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Dhamma meeting where we will discuss the Buddhist practices of charity, morality, and meditation. Everyone who's interested is welcome to join. And we shall start with our first participant, which is Jordan of Bangkok. Hi, Jordan. Unmute your microphone first. I think you have.
Good evening, Ajaan. I'm sorry it wasn't letting me unmute.
Yeah,
but
okay.
How
are you doing?
Very happy to be here this evening. I'm doing well. I wish I had a good question to ask you, but I'm feeling very clear on how to practice these days, thanks to your instructions.
Yes, it's really simple. One word, mindfulness.
That's right.
Stop thinking. That's all you have to do.
Instead, I'm just focusing on, instead of thinking about it, I'm trying to focus on doing it.
Yes. Why is it so hard to do, to stop thinking? Why is it so hard?
It's just a bad habit, I guess.
It's hard to teach an old dog a new trick.
That's right.
The mind is an old dog. It's been, the ages is countless. It's been existing for millenniums.
Mm. It's been thinking for millenniums.
Yeah, so it's difficult to teach it to stop thinking. It's like when you're used to using your right hand and you have to use your left hand instead. You'll find it not easy to do it.
That's right.
But if you're forced to do it, if something wrong with your right hand and you can't use your right hand, then you might have to force yourself to learn to use the left hand. And eventually you'll become left-handed,
So it's just it gets easier with practice, eh?
That's right. That's what it takes. Just keep on practicing, and it will become easier and easier.
Wonderful.
So train yourself in mindfulness. This is the first step in the practice. Before you can sit down and meditate effectively, you need to have good mindfulness, continuous mindfulness. So your mind don't have any excuses to go think or follow your thoughts. So try to use something like a mantra or keep watching your body movement. Follow your body movement all the time, from the time you get up to the time you go to sleep. Okay?
Okay, I will. Thank you. That sounds very clear to me.
Okay. Maybe later if you have any question.
Thank you,
Okay.
Tanaja.
Ken from Switzerland. Hi, Professor. How are you doing?
Good afternoon, Ajaan. I'm very well, thank you.
Any question
Recovering.
today?
Yeah, I have a question. Ajaan, is it correct to say that the kilesas are part of the chitta and also that the Dhamma is part of the chitta?
Well, they all come from the chitta. It's inside the chitta. It's in your mind.
Yeah.
The defilement is been habitual. It's been part of your habits. Your habit is to greed, to hate, and it's due to delusion, not knowing that can cause you suffering. Instead of thinking, instead of giving you suffering, you think it's giving you pleasure. When you crave for something, and when you get it, you feel good. But you don't think about the opposite. If you don't get it, then how do you feel? You feel mad, you feel angry, when you cannot get what you want, disappointed or sad. So our delusion causes us to look only on the good side of cravings or greed. But we don't look at the other side of it. What happens if you cannot get what you crave for? Or what happens you lose the thing that you got that you crave for? You get something and sooner or later you lose it. Because everything is anicca, everything is impermanent. This is what we call wisdom, see? To counter delusion. Wisdom is Dhamma. And usually we have to be taught we don't have wisdom within ourselves. So we need somebody like the Buddha to come around and say, everything that you crave for can give you disappointment or sadness. Because everything you get, sooner or later you will lose it. You will change. You don't remain the same all the time. It doesn't give you happiness or pleasure all the time. It can turn to poison instead of pleasure. So this is what we don't see. Our delusion prevents us from seeing anicca, anatta, dukkha. So we go after things and then we become embroiled. In the pursuit of getting it is already dukkha. To get something you have to, work hard for it. And when you get it, you can lose it. And when you lose it, then you become sad again. Then you go look for it again, for replacement. And it's the same thing, the replacement is also impermanent. But you cannot remain without anything. You are like a drug addict. You have to have something to feed you all the time. Sensual pleasure. You need to see, you need to hear, you need to smell and taste and touch things all the time. Without them, you feel empty, unfulfilled. But this thing cannot fulfill your mind. They give you more cravings because they like drugs. You take it and then you want to have more of it. And when you cannot get it, then you suffer. So it's all in our mind. Defilement. Usually we have defilement, but we lack Dhamma, lack the wisdom of the Buddha. Until we are fortunate to come across his teaching and start to study and start to follow his teaching, then we will then have some countermeasure to go against the defilement of the kilesa. And he gave us the tool, the Noble Eightfold Path is the tool to counter the kilesa, the defilement. The Noble Eightfold Path can be condensed into three: the practice of morality, meditation, and wisdom, vipassana. So if we keep practicing these three practices, we will have the ability to get rid of our defilement. And consequently, the suffering that our defilement creates for us. So don't try to study the mechanic of things. Try to study the how to, how to do. Don't worry about. It's like driving a car. Just learn how to drive the car. Don't worry about the mechanic of the car. What RPM, what cylinders you have, horsepower and so forth. You don't have to know all these things. All you have to know is how to drive the car safely, to take you home, or to take you to places where you want to go. And our goal is to the complete eradication of suffering. And in order to get there, we need to practice the morality, meditation, and wisdom. Sila, Samadhi, and Panya. We call the triple training. Okay.
Very, very clear and helpful, Ajaan. Thank you.
Yeah. Sometimes we study too much about the mechanics, the composition of things. We forget the things that we have to do. People spend years studying Buddhism and never practice the triple training. Or if they practice partially. Like monks, they practice their morality, but they spend too much time on the scholastic side of Buddhism. They forget the practice of meditation and wisdom. Okay.
Thank you, Ajaan. Thank you very much.
All right. Go to New Zealand with Anura and Ramya.
Good evening, Ajaan. Good to see you today.
Yes, good to see you too.
I have no question today. Yeah, I understand what no question, but need to practice. Yeah.
Yeah,
so
mindfulness.
Your message is very clear. Yeah.
Keep the precepts. Stop watching TV and entertainment. And
we have given up
sensual
that.
pleasure. Give up the sensual pleasure.
Yeah, totally.
So you can have time for practice meditation.
Yes. Yeah, we have given up TV and entertainment completely.
Yes.
Yeah. Pretty much,
Spend your time if you want to watch something. Study the Buddha's teaching to clarify more how to practice properly.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank
I'll
you.
go to Malaysia and then to Philip from Kuala Lumpur.
Good evening, Ajaan. Hope you're doing well. Got no questions. Just continue practicing every day.
Okay. How far have you gone now?
How far? slowly each step. I mean, there are improvements. There are improvements. I mean, I can get longer calmness.
Can you sit
Yeah.
more, spend more time for your meditation practice?
Oh yeah. I actually do quite well morning, evening.
Mhm.
That yeah. I mean, I think the mindfulness helps a lot because once you have mindfulness, I think even your everyday life, I think your senses becomes a bit sharper. I mean, you tend to notice a lot of a lot of things clearer. I mean, for example, the sounds, the sights and things like that. I mean, you don't wander in daydreaming.
You don't get distracted easily.
Yes, yeah. I mean, but you get grounded onto the world.
Mhm.
What I say, you get grounded to the present moment more.
Yes.
Yeah.
In order for you to advance, you have to put in the time for your practice.
Yes,
You know.
yes. Right. So yes, I mean, I've been doing it. I mean, there are times that the sitting it's a bit hard. I mean, there's irritation, but it's just you need to pass it. Once you pass that irritation, then it goes for a very prolonged period of bliss. I would say. I mean, you don't have the irritation anymore.
Yes.
Same go with the hunger, but it's just that sometimes when I get into a routine, basically, I meditate in the morning, I have to start at this time, and I become a creature of habit, and then it becomes a routine. Yeah.
Yes, you have to have sticks. You have to stick to your schedule.
Yeah.
You have to have that discipline.
Yeah, and I mean, sometimes sitting in the same spot, the same place in the house, or in the same corner, maybe may do me well just to move it. I've been sitting in the same spot for quite a number of months or years. You could say.
It's not that important what you see.
Yeah,
What's important is your mindfulness. How
yeah.
much you have, how much mindfulness you have. So
So I'm just
concentrate
saying.
on building up your mindfulness before you come to sit.
Yes.
Then you can sit anywhere and become calm easily.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
good.
Yeah, Ajaan.
Go to outsourcing in Malaysia also. You may pronounce your name correctly.
Good evening, Tan Ajaan.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, perfectly.
May I ask you a question or two?
Sure, go ahead.
I wonder, I heard that if one wants to become a sotapan, one needs to practice at least 6 hours of formal sitting a day. Is that true?
There's no fixed formula really for practice. Yeah, it depends on various factors. Different people have different build up to achieve Sotapanna. Maybe in your past life you did more, so you don't have to do more in this lifetime. If you in your past life if you didn't do enough, then you might have to do more in this lifetime. So it's still the same thing. You have to practice sila, keep the 8 precepts, and try to meditate until you get to equanimity. Once you have equanimity, then you can go up to study the nature of your body as being impermanent, as being no self, as being merely just 4 elements, not you that get old, get sick, or die. So if you understand this, then you can let go of your attachment, and you will not feel any pain when the body becomes sick or when the body dies. So you still need to practice this morality, sila, samadhi, and panya. But how much you put in the effort, that varies from individual to individual. Some people might not have to sit for 6 hours, because if they have good mindfulness, they can sit for 5 minutes and then the mind can enter into jhana right away. And then they might be in jhana for an hour or so, and that's enough for them to come out and teach the mind to let go of their attachment to the body. So there's no fixed formula, really.
See,
Some people just listen to Dhamma talk and can become a sotapanna. So, it depends on how much you already have in your mind to finish the work. Yeah.
I see.
Just keep on practicing. Just check yourself out, whether how are you doing with your morality. Can you keep the 8 precepts without, can you give up sensual pleasures, watching movies, go on holidays, going to places, and you stay quiet alone somewhere, be alone, and concentrate on your meditation practice.
I've been going for retreats since December. Every month I go for retreats, either online or by in person. Some for 4 days, sometimes 6 days, sometimes 8 days. Continuous every month got retreats.
Maybe you try a 6-month retreat for a change.
I think
Instead of sitting 6 hours, just do a 6-month retreat instead.
I think I got commitment at home now. Can't go for 6 months.
Okay.
Mhm.
Any
My
more questions?
second question is on Visa Day, I went for retreat. Then I sat longer for more than 2 hours. I follow my breath, and the breath disappeared. Then thinking stops for quite long. I stay in that stillness for quite a long time. Then I experienced a drop in my mind, a drop and sudden drop in my mind. Is that normal?
You don't have to worry about whether normal or not. Just know it is for what it is. The goal is to train your mind to let go. After you come out of this meditation, can you let go of things more than before? If somebody say something bad to you, can you just remain undisturbed, for instance? Or if you see something you like, do you have less attraction for those things that you see? This is more important, how your mind reacts to things when you come out of meditation. You should be more non-reactive until you can remain just merely knowing. Every time you see things, you merely know. You hear things, you merely hear, without having any reaction, emotional reaction, whether love, hate, or fear. That's what you want.
Sometimes my husband says something, then I just consider whether to answer or not to answer. I just ponder first before want to answer or not to answer.
Well, if you have equanimity, you know you don't have to answer. If you answer, there's a self in you. There's a delusion. If there's no delusion, you're just merely a knowing element. You just merely know. You don't need to answer unless they insist that you answer. Then you might answer. But otherwise, you just listen. Just know what they say, what they do, and leave them alone.
Okay, thank you, Ajaan.
Okay, good.
Sadhu.
Next, Claudia from Switzerland also.
Good afternoon from Switzerland, Tana-chan. Can you hear me?
Yes. Are
Thank
you
you.
working? Are you working?
Not today. So I start to work with a new family on Thursday. I will be in a family with an autistic child, and I will be there only twice a week. So I have enough time for practicing and relaxing and meditation. So it's not too much to work. And I have a question, Tana-chan. I was asked by a Thai woman who is a member of the Dhamma community if I would permit to print the translation of Tana-chan's book in German language. And I want to ask Tana-chan if he gives the permission.
Oh,
to
yes,
print.
the permission is freely given with one condition, for free distribution only.
Yeah.
Not for sale, not for sale. Okay, just you're free to print them and distribute them, but don't
Thank you.
don't sell them. That's all.
No, no,
Okay.
thank you very much. This makes me very happy. Thank you very much.
Yeah, very good. You mean the first book that you finished translated?
Yes, it's already published on Tana-chan's website.
Yeah.
And I'm doing right now the precision work of Tana-chan's biography. So my first translation is always writing with the hand because it's like meditation to me. So when I do the first translation by writing with my own hands, it's like meditation. So it's like writing the Dhamma in my heart, and it takes quite a lot of time. But when I'm finished with this, I type it into the computer, and then I pass it to Kenneth for proofreading it. And when this is finished, I want to send the next translation to Tana-chan's assistant, and it would be wonderful if this also could be published and maybe printed too.
I think eventually there'll be somebody who's interested to do the printing. But as long as we can get it online, that's good enough. The first step is to have it published online.
As far as I understood, the lady from Thailand already has an idea who is going to print it. So she asked me to send the file to her. And it seems like she has somebody who's going to print it. And maybe we can also give it to the Dhamma monastery for the libraries there in German language.
Yes, you can distribute them, giving them to anywhere you want.
It's wonderful.
Okay, very good. Is that all?
Yes, it's all for now. Thank you very much.
Okay, you're welcome. Next, Ryan from Singapore.
Good evening, Ajaan.
How are you?
I'm doing good, Ajaan. Got a question, I think maybe more of a confession, which is I find it very hard to follow some of the Kruba Ajaan advice. They say to take less of the food that you like and take more of the food that you don't like. So because I'm trying to reduce my food intake, so I find that I end up taking more of the food that I like and taking less of the food that I don't like. So.
Well, you want to do the opposite in order to neutralize your greed. Don't eat the food that you want to eat. Eat the food that you don't want to eat.
Yes.
Or if you like both, you can mix them up together. Mix all the food in the plate before you take it in your body. Because eventually they will be mixed in your stomach anyway, right? everything that gonna go into your stomach, you mix them up first on the plate or on the bowl. Put everything in and mix them all up, like you would mix them up later in your stomach. Because we don't want to eat for pleasure. We want to eat just to maintain the body. Eat like giving the body medicine. When you take medicine, you don't care what the medicine looks like or tastes, right? You just put it in your mouth and swallow it. And that's the way you should eat food.
Yes. I
Okay.
will try harder, Ajahn. I think it's as a lay person, because I'm spending money on the food. So when I spend the money, I want to kind of make the full value of the money, right? Therefore, I end up ordering the food that I like. It's very hard to spend money and yet spend it on something that I don't like.
Well, in fact, the value of food is to feed your body, not your mind. Your mind doesn't eat the food at all.
Yes.
And the body doesn't care how you put the food into the stomach, right? Eventually, when it goes to the stomach, it will be all mixed up anyway. But it's up to you. If you still want to have the pleasure of eating, then you will have the problem of maybe overeating and giving you sleepiness, nonsense, and also your attachment to food can be a problem for your practice, because sometimes you might have to be without food or without the kind of food that you like to eat. If you want to practice more intensively, you want to go into the forest or places like that where the food is not the type that you will get in the city, in the town.
I think it would be much easier in a monastery where I can't really choose the exact kind of food. It's more of like whatever food is available, and then I can also mix up the food like you suggested. But when I'm at home, or because I live in a city, so all the food comes in like packaged very nicely, and they make it taste very nice. So it's very different from a monastery.
Yes, and you find it difficult to mix them up first before you eat.
Yeah, it's very hard because I can't really do that in public also. It's yeah. I'll do my best.
Maybe that's your defilement excuse. Anyway,
Understood.
okay, just don't eat too much, because eating too much can cause you to have a sleepiness and laziness, sloth and torpor. So when you eat too much, you don't feel like doing any practice. You want to go to sleep. Okay.
Thank you, Dhamma.
All right. Nining from Indonesia.
Yeah, good evening, Ajahn. Can you hear me, Ajahn?
Yes.
Yes, from the Dhamma talk, from the question and answer, I can now understand that Ajahn say that the mind is permanent. So it takes me long to understand and to comprehend that why the mind is permanent. Maybe because in this Wesak month, I do Dana, Sila, and Samadhi the whole month. I go to monastery in the morning, in the afternoon, and listening to the Dhamma talk at night the whole month. So finally, in the last question and answer in the Facebook, I see some people ask Ajahn about why Ajaan said that the mind is permanent. So my question is, if the Arahant are all in the spiritual universe, so can I ask them for help? Like I ask, sometimes people ask Deva for help, because Ajaan also said that Ajaan Man can talk mind to Arahant and discuss the Dhamma. So my question is, can I Pudujana can communicate to Arahant mind to mind and asking them for help, like they live before, they like Kasapa Arahant yang Mahakasapa help the poor people, like that.
I think this is a ridiculous question to ask. You know,
Oh, yeah.
what for? What do you want to connect it with them for? When you can connect with the Buddha's teaching right now. You know, and besides, you need to have psychic power in order to be able to connect with other spiritual beings.
Yeah.
If you don't have psychic power, then you cannot connect to any spiritual being. And it doesn't mean those spiritual beings want to be connected with you either.
Yeah, I see.
You can, it's like you calling somebody on the phone, it doesn't mean that they want to answer your phone, even if they can talk to you on the phone, but sometimes maybe they prefer not to communicate with you.
Oh, I see.
So if
Yeah,
you
because
want to learn the Dhamma, we have the Dhamma teaching right now, and we still have many enlightened monks, enlightened disciples around that you can go and study with. So when you want to do something difficult or impossible for you to do?
yeah, okay, because it's just curiosity. It's just my curiosity, because a lot of question about the mind is permanent. So it Ajaan and also tell them about their existence in the spiritual universe. So I just my curiosity, so that they who have superpower maybe can help human
Yes.
being like
I
me.
think you're curious for the wrong thing. You should be curious about how to get rid of your suffering better.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the second question is, Ajaan said that the sixth element is not the formation. For what I know, the water consists of hydrogen and oxygen. So I mean, can Ajaan explain to me why the sixth element is not the formation? That's why it's permanent.
Well, we have to understand that this is a general description of things. Water element means anything that is liquid, okay?
Oh,
Earth element is anything that is solid.
oh, I see. So it's not the water itself. It's not the hydrogen and
When you have
oxygen.
something liquid, that's the water element. If you have something solid, that's the earth element. When you have
I see.
something like gases, this is the wind element. And if you have temperature, you have heat, that's the fire element.
Oh, I see. I can understand now, Ajaan.
Okay.
Thank you for the explanation.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. Is that all?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
All. Thank
Don't
you.
worry too much about this thing. Worry about how to get rid of your defilement. That's more important. Knowing this thing cannot help you get rid of your defilement.
Yeah, I give up to this whole month. I give up to the sensual pleasure, because in the Wesak month I do 8% the whole month, and then I do Dana the whole month, and also do Samadhi and listening to the Dhamma talk, and that's why sometimes I need, I mean, is there any quick step? Yeah, it's just my curiosity to to find the quick step to my practice like that. It just, maybe it's my weakness. I want to step the fastest way like that.
The fastest way is to have mindfulness.
Thank you.
Sati,
And also,
practice mindfulness. If you have mindfulness, you can have jhana. And once you have jhana, then you can get rid of your attachment. When you see with wisdom that what you attach to can cause you dukkha.
yeah, and also Ajaan said that vipassana developing mindfulness also. When we, the whole day, we contemplating about the body, we can also get mindfulness from the vipassana. Is that correct?
You need mindfulness to maintain your vipassana practice. Without mindfulness, your vipassana will not be in order. It will go. Sometimes you might think of vipassana, and then sometimes you might think about defilements. But with mindfulness, then the mindfulness can keep the mind stick to the wisdom development thing.
Because somebody asked Ajaan about can we be sotapanna without jhana, and Ajaan replied that by developing the wisdom by vipassana, one can have mindfulness also, and at that time that one will do developing jhana and also the wisdom both together.
I think you're confused with samadhi and mindfulness. Sometimes you can use wisdom to get your mind into samadhi. If you can focus on your investigation on a certain part aspect of the Dhamma, that can lead your mind into samadhi. But you need mindfulness in order to be able to focus your thinking levels to stay with the contemplation or the investigation of wisdom to get the mind to samadhi. So you still need mindfulness, whether you do samadhi or whether you do vipassana wisdom. Without mindfulness, you won't be able to concentrate on thinking about your investigation.
Now I practice. I practice mindfulness with anicca, dukkha, and anatta. So every day in my daily activity, if I find difficulty or I find problem, I said that this is not last forever. This is just temporary, and also this is out of my control. I try to contemplate that three characteristic in my daily life, and I think I just feel happy with that practice. Is Ajaan have any suggestion for additional?
Well, if you want to have full concentration, full samadhi, you need to sit down and focus on your breathing, not thinking.
Yeah, I do sit meditation 4 hours a day. I think I have no problem with sitting meditation because I can sit even 4 hours in one practice, and I don't change my position at all. I think I don't have any difficulty for sitting meditation.
And what do you get during your 4 hours of sitting? How is your mind?
First time, usually I practice metta bhavana, and then after I get relaxed, I watch my breath, and I just watching my breath, and also when I feel calm and peace, just I sit and I keep on watching my breath, and also I just stay on my pace like that.
And then you do that for 4 hours.
Sometimes when for example, sometimes the thought I mean, when I thought about my bad experience or anything, and then I try to contemplate, and I thought that this is life, this is suffering. That's why, I mean, I don't have to attach to anything, just let it go. So I use the rest of the sitting hours meditation for developing my wisdom. If something rise in my meditation, if not, nothing happened in my meditation, I just sit and stay on my peace like that.
Okay.
Is that-
The main goal is to sit and become still, not thinking, not having anything, just merely knowing.
Yeah, just sit. So I just practice my mindfulness, but sometimes in that sit, sometimes blow in my mind or anything, so I just try to let it go.
It should
Like
be
that.
the goal is to empty your mind. All you have left is just the knowing. That's all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Ajahn, thank you.
All right. We'll go to Celia from Peru. Hi, Celia.
Hello, Tanajan. Good evening.
How are you?
I'm fine. Practice is going more or less. I've decided to change my meditation to focus more on the body. So by now I don't have questions. I want to see how it goes. No?
Okay. When you meditate, you focus on your what? Your body?
Yes. Now I want to do more of Asubha.
I see.
So I had been doing Asubha for dealing with sensual pleasures. I noticed that, well, after doing Asubha, I noticed that I have this pull towards very beautiful things, or towards seeing beautiful people, or towards creating also beautiful things, no? So I started doing Asubha for that reason. But now I think that is very good also for creating a little bit of detachment from people and things, especially from people. And I also, well, last year I had been contemplating a lot on death and on separation from loved ones. And my main ideas was that to deal better with the fact that my mother could die, no? So basically it was for that. But I realized this year that it hasn't been very fruitful, because I still feel that if she dies, I feel sad, no? So I think that I should rather change a little bit my meditation and focus more on Asubha, and focus more also on impermanence also of the body, of the senses.
You're stepping ahead of your practice. What you should do more is to establish equanimity first in your mind.
And how I do that?
You have to get into jhana, the fourth jhana,
But
by concentrating, not thinking, just merely watching your mind, watching your breath, anapanasati. To get in.
Only the breath? But it's very difficult for me to just sit and focus on the breath. That's why I contemplate, because it's usually easier for me to contemplate, and then I get
easy,
still
but
and just watch the breath.
It doesn't get you to equanimity. That's the problem. See?
Mm.
You have
Okay.
to be.
So what do you recommend?
Well, the Buddha recommended the anapanasati. watching the breath. What's so difficult about watching your breath? Just know it goes in and know it goes out. It's much easier than watching a movie.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that, no, but the thing is that the thoughts that come drag me very far away. That's the
right.
thing.
It means you don't have enough mindfulness to be able to use anapanasati yet.
Yeah.
So you have to do
But when
more mindfulness before you meditate.
But when I do contemplation and then I see my breath, then it's easy to get there almost until the end of the meditation. But just go and sit and just watch my breath. Well, maybe now that I started doing chanting, it's easier to just sit and watch my breath.
Well,
But I have this tendency towards wanting to contemplate things, not just living on the breath.
Yeah, this thinking, see, the mind likes to think.
Yes.
So
Yes.
this will prevent your mind from ever entering into jhana. This is one of the hindrances, restlessness and agitation, what you call it contemplation. But this restlessness and agitation really.
Okay. Yes, because I really think that I should calm more, that I should just watch the breath and
stop thinking.
I see the difference, yes.
Don't do the contemplation now.
Okay.
You go to you have to do the meditation for calm first before you can go into contemplation and let go of your attachment. You say you do contemplation, but you feel that you cannot let go yet, right?
Yes.
That's because you don't have equanimity. See? You bypass equanimity and go directly to vipassana. So when you use vipassana, you cannot feel, let go of having no adverse feeling when things happen to you or someone you love.
Yes.
That's because you don't have the ability to calm your mind, to still your mind. Your mind still reacts with love, hate, or fear, or delusion.
Yeah. Now, I can do that. I can try that. Thank you for that. During the day, there are many thoughts that, not many, but they come of anything, no fear, of happiness, of sadness. I should also just see them and let them go. Let them go. Let them go. Let them go. Any thought that comes?
Don't see them at all. Just try to focus on your body, on your body movement. Whatever you do with your body, just do it.
Yes.
And watch your body instead of watch your thoughts. Because if you watch your thought, you'll be talking to it all day long. It will never stop. But if you keep watching your body and don't pay attention to your thought, then your thought will eventually will disappear or become less.
Yeah. So not try to let them go. Just focus
Just
on the
leave them
body,
alone.
and they will just
leave them alone. Yeah. If you leave them alone, don't talk to them. You normally want to reply to your thoughts. Don't reply. Just stick to watch your body. If you're eating, just concentrate on eating. If your mind wants to ask you, what should I do next? Don't entertain those thoughts. Just forget about it. You're eating right now. Stay in the present. Don't worry about what your thought wants you to think about tomorrow or yesterday or anything.
Okay, I can do that.
This is mindfulness. And
And
whatever
I
you
cannot do a
do,
suba. It's not helpful to continue doing a suba. Just for that, for having more, I don't know how you say it, be more closer to my body than to my thoughts.
Asupa is also vipassana. See? You want to go to
So,
vipassana. You don't want to do
yes.
samatha. You don't want to stop thinking. That's the problem.
Yeah, because I see it's so difficult for me to stop thinking in meditation and outside. So yeah, contemplation it's easier. But yeah, I see that problem there. So yeah, maybe I should try just to calm the mind.
Yeah. Okay. Because if you keep contemplating, you can see, but you cannot let go. You cannot accept the truth yet, even if you contemplate. Because your mind doesn't have the ability to stop the defilement from still attaching to whatever you try to let go.
Yes, that's true. That's true. I thought contemplation would lead me to calm, but it hasn't really. So yeah, I can try the other way.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ajaan.
Okay.
Be well.
Thank you. You're welcome. Who's next? Okay. Mike, I think, Mike Sheffield, if I remember your name correctly.
Yes, you got my name correctly. Thank you, Ajaan. In New York City, it is getting much warmer right now, and I've been noticing it's a little harder for me to meditate for longer periods of time. And I know walking meditation has been good for keeping myself awake, not overeating, and even doing chanting prior to meditation has been good. But I was curious if Ajaan also had any techniques or mantras or objects of meditation that you find are good for when dealing with fatigue or sleepiness or like an extreme like sweating or just staying awake and staying concentrated.
Well, I still go back to mindfulness. The more mindfulness you have, the more you will be able to remain calm and not be disturbed by the conditions around you. See, you will have more equanimity with mindfulness, and you can deal with the surrounding conditions, whether it's heat or hunger or sleepiness. If you have mindfulness, you usually don't feel sleepy. But if you really feel sleepy because of fatigue from your body, then you just need to take a rest sometime. The body needs to take a rest. But just don't sleep more than it needs. That's all. But we all have to rest the body. Maybe 5 hours a day for sleeping. If you have 5 hours and you still want to sleep, then maybe this is your defilement, your sensual pleasure. So you should get up and do something and do it with mindfulness. Watching what you're doing, or if you like, you can use a mantra, Bhutto, 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 as you do. Then you will have more mindfulness, and then the mind becomes less reactive to things. Mindfulness is very important tool in the practice for samadhi and also for wisdom.
I had also been thinking about a time that I had reached a heightened level of samadhi, and I remember it had arisen when I was away with my family, with my parents, and my brother and sister and their children. And I remember I had been spending a lot of time with my family, and especially like looking after the young children. And I had this kind of a breakthrough meditation. And I was curious if in Ajaan's experience, like there was any connection between like, whether maybe it was between merit or, just like selflessness and like levels of samadhi, or if there's even like a connection between like, spending time with your elders or, like taking care of children that you've ever found has led to deeper levels of meditation.
I think this is just a one-time incident. What you want is to have it all the time. And in order for you to have it all the time, you need to have continuous mindfulness. And in order to do this effectively, you have to be alone to be able to develop your mindfulness. But sometimes when you're in a certain place and a certain condition, things might somehow cause your mind to become calm. But this is just only maybe just once in a lifetime of happening or something like that. So you shouldn't rely on that experience. Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much, Ajaan.
All right. Naomi from Toronto. How are you? Haven't seen you a while.
Hello, Ajaan. Hi. Is my sound okay today?
Yes, perfectly.
Okay,
Good.
good. I have a question today. So since I got back from the monastery in April, I found I still continue my practice, but it's hard to be fully committed to it as much. So I thought, well, I should maybe occasionally participate in like some dana activity, because then I'll generate some more energy. And I found it's good to generate energy, but because of the social dynamics, there's people very demanding and controlling. It also brings up some stress. So I'm kind of unsure about participating in these, dana activities, like just occasionally, because it seems like there's a mixed result for me.
Well, this is just your defilement excuse for you to associate with people. So this is not the way forward, it's the way backward. What you want to maintain is seclusion as much as possible. But then your defilement doesn't want you to be in seclusion. It wants you to go and get socially involved with people. So if you go back to dana practice, it means you're going back down, not going up. If you meditate or you practice mindfulness, then you are going up. But sometimes going uphill is difficult than walking downhill. See? So that's always a temptation for you to walk downhill from time to time. But after you have done that, you'll feel disappointed and you say, "Oh, I've lost my path. What I should do is I should try to maintain at least where I was, rather than coming down." So maybe you need to see this yourself. Maybe when you go do dana, and then after a while, you'll find that it was a foolish decision to take. And maybe this will then cause you to be more careful next time when you are tempted by your defilement. Because it's difficult to be alone to practice meditation and mindfulness. But if you keep pushing, one day your defilement resistance will be gone, and then you'll find peace and comfort. You don't need. But as long as there's still resistance, then this is difficult. But you have to endure. You have to use patience and effort to keep on, continue on with your mindfulness and meditation practice. And one day it will be successful. It will be worth the effort. But if you walk backward, then you have to come back to the point where you were before again. And you will still have to face the same dilemma, the same problem, which need to be solved by pushing yourself forward, not going backward. Understand what I mean?
Yes, it's very clear. It's very helpful. Yeah, I felt a bit confused, and this is just brings me back. Thank you so much. Yeah.
I have another student have the same problem. She finds it difficult to meditate. So whenever she seems to meditate, she feels like there's something inside her pushing her outward. But when she goes out and do dana, she feels good. The pressure is released. But this is a false sense of release, really. Because you have to walk back up again. So why walk down when you have to walk back up again? If you're on the second floor, why walk down to the first floor? And then eventually you have to walk back up to the second floor again. Why not try to stay on the second floor? And try to push yourself to go up to the third floor and stay. Okay, just keep pushing mindfulness and meditation, regardless of how you feel. If you feel tired, maybe you can take a rest, temporary rest. Maybe do less meditation, do less mindfulness, but don't go do dana. That's too much. Our retreat, you don't want to retreat that far down to dana. If you find it hard to meditate, maybe okay, relax, read Dhamma books instead. Listen to Dhamma talks. But maybe occasionally you feel that there's nothing you can do, but you have to retreat, okay, and then you you retreat and then you restart again. All right.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Have you seen your sister, Debbie?
We talk regularly. Yeah, she's doing fine. She's doing okay.
Okay. She's still involved with her family, her children.
Yeah, but she takes regular retreats.
I see. Does she still teach? She's a teacher, isn't it?
She's a teacher, but she's off for now. She's off, at least for another year, I think.
I see. Sabbatical.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Say hi for me when you see her.
Okay, I will.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. I'll go to Alfredo from Brazil, Sao Paulo.
Hi, Mante.
Hi, how are you?
Good. My breath is not so good, but it's normal. My bronchitis.
Bronchitis.
Very bad. Normal.
What happened? You feel hard to breathe, or?
I have to expectorate the catarrh. My breath is the bronchitis very the breath is plenty of catarrh, is plenty of. I have to expectorate. Get off.
You feel any pain?
No.
No pain.
Only difficult to
breathe.
breathe.
To breathe. Okay.
Yes, but it's okay. Only in the morning.
Okay.
More in the morning. I take a grip. Looks like COVID, but it's not COVID. Only grip.
You have any medicine to take?
Don't.
No medicine you can use to cure.
Yes, I take, but it's not enough. But not enough. Bronchitis is chronic.
Chronic. Okay.
Yes, but my sati is very good. My sati is very.
Yeah.
Atapi sati, atapi sampajono.
As long as you can remain undisturbed by your bronchitis, that's okay.
After bronchitis, only when I have to tossing, not practice, but after I am okay, I practice.
Okay.
But samsara is a problem. Don't worry to samsara, but it's okay. I have the problem of woman of Peru thinking a lot, but I gave the order to my mind, not thinking. I am practicing. The hour now. I am practicing. The problem to thinking a lot, I have a lot to, but it's samsara, But samsara is not a problem, It's don't worry to samsara, But
samsara is rebirth. When you keep rebirth, the samsara.
Yes.
When you stop rebirth, then you get out of samsara and you get into nibbana.
Yes. Yes,
If
it's a
you-
desire.
If you can stop thinking, you can get to Nibbana. If you cannot
Yes.
stop thinking, you'll continue on in samsara.
Yes. Yes.
All right.
Yes. I'm practicing very good on sati. Samadhi is a little difficult to me, Bante, because I have a problem to my health.
Yes.
But sati is okay.
Okay. Just do whatever you can.
Yes.
All
Yes.
right.
Yes.
Okay. Hope you get well
Thanks.
soon.
Thanks.
All right. Sammy from Lebanon. Hi, Sammy. Are you in India or are you back home?
Hello, Ajaan. I came back to India about a few weeks ago,
Mhm.
and
Same place
back
where you were before?
in Bodh Gaya, in the Korean temple in Bodh Gaya.
Mhm.
And I have a very urgent question I want to ask you. I've been trying to join your Zoom calls, but for some reason I wasn't getting the notification. So I've been really meaning to ask you this question. When I'm meditating on my breath, then after about 35 to 40 minutes, I feel like my heart just drops like to the ground, and my breath stops. And and this has been happening every single session, no matter how hard I try, I cannot remain in that state because then I'm like gasping for air, almost like someone emerging from under the water. I go like, I just don't know what's happening to me, and
You
I'm
should
not able to cross that.
Yeah, you should not react, just merely know, just merely observe. And let whatever, if you're gonna run out of breath, just let it happen. Don't try to grasp for breath when you feel that there's no breath for you to breathe. Just merely be watching. Use mindfulness. Don't react to the situation. Understand what I mean?
I understand, but it's like it's so real. Like it's like I'm almost dying.
That's right. It feels like dying but actually that's when the mind wants to enter into jhana. That's what will happen sometime. Feel as if you're falling from a high place, or sometimes you're drowning or something
Exactly,
like that.
that's how it feels.
Just let
Falling
it be.
from high place
Just
or
let it
coming
be.
from under the water.
Yeah, just let it be. Let the body drown. Let whatever. Don't worry. The mind will just keep watching, and then the mind will then be separated from the body temporarily. This is how you separate the mind from the body, see. But if you keep holding on to your body, then you will not be able to separate from the body. Just stay mindful, that's all. Just be mindful. Just keep watching. Like you watch a movie. As if you know there's nothing you can do with the movie you watch, right? You just have to watch, that's all.
It's all like dark.
Yeah.
There's nothing to watch. If there's no breath,
Emptiness.
then what do I watch?
Watch emptiness. Watch nothing. Just don't react. Just remain still. Just keep knowing, that's all. Can you do that? Just keep watching, keep knowing, but don't react.
I was trying, but up to now, I felt like, I don't know, I kind of have to go up. But now that you're saying, this thing, then, I have to try harder even just to, I think my attachment to my body is very strong.
Yes.
So that's why it's like I'm at the cusp. I just need to somehow, I don't know how, but I will try just to maintain.
You try to cling to your body as if the body is drowning and you want to protect it from drowning. So you try to somehow pull it back from drowning. The harder you try, then the more the more stressful your mind become. But if you just let go, then the stress will disappear. Just let the body drown.
It's a very overwhelming experience that I never had up until last few weeks, where I was, I talked to you. I was in Lebanon, and I don't think that time it was happening. But since then, it's like consistently every single session, and I got frustrated. Like why is this happening? And I'm not able to talk to you. And my visa to Australia was rejected, by the way. So I put a visa to Thailand actually, and I'm planning to go there after my visa in India expires. So it's like 2 to 3 weeks. I'm not getting notification. Where is Ajaan? Is he sick? Is he in the hospital? He's not going online. Then I realized there's something wrong with the notification, actually. So actually, I've been doing more walking meditation because of this experience. It doesn't happen during walking meditation. So it made me avoid even to sit for long periods. So now I'm just sitting for half an hour instead of 1 hour.
Just don't worry, whatever appears in your meditation cannot hurt you. Just like watching a movie.
Yeah, it's like I know that, but that moment when this happens is like so overwhelming and terrifying.
You couldn't help yourself from being terrified.
Yeah, completely. Yeah. Like you really feel you're gonna fall. Like when you're in a dream and you feel like you're falling, then you wake up.
That's
it's
right.
the same feeling.
Same thing. Just tell yourself it's just a dream. Don't worry about it. Just let it be, okay? Next time when you meditate, when you come across this experience, just let it be. Don't react.
Good, Ajaan.
Okay.
I will try. Thank you,
Good.
Ajaan.
All right. I'll go to Full Moon now. Full Moon, you're from China, right?
Good evening, Ajahn. Yes, I'm from China.
From Guangzhou?
No, Guangxi.
Guangxi, okay.
Yes. Now I have a job and I live in a small village, and I live only myself.
Live alone.
Yes. Live alone, yes.
Good. Good for meditation.
No, sometimes I feel lonely.
That's because you don't meditate. If you meditate, then you won't feel lonely.
Meditating.
Yeah, when you keep meditating until your mind becomes calm, and then the feeling of loneliness will disappear.
Okay. Because of my major is law, so my brain always busy on my job, is a little tired. When I do sitting meditation, there's a lot of things, a lot of thoughts will arise. I feel I need some time to calm down, and it's a little difficult for me to meditate. If I focus on my work, my job, because my major is law, I need to thinking of a lot of things to solve the problem, to help other people in my company to solve their problem, to give some of the advice. So sometimes my brain is very tired. Yeah, but I will make it done. I will I try to do more meditation when I can control my work. Yes.
Okay. It's difficult to meditate when you have to work, because they are going against each other. Working, you need to think, and meditation, you want to stop thinking. So it might
Yes,
be-
yes.
So unless you try to do as much as you can.
Yes, yes, yes. Maybe I need some time to adapt it. When I save enough money, I can have a long time to meditate. Yes.
Yeah. Just do whatever you can right now. Okay. Just meditate as much as you can.
Okay, okay. Thank you, Ajaan. Thank you.
You're welcome. Go to Julia from Colorado. Hi, Julia. Haven't seen you a while.
Hello, Pat Ajaan. Thank you for your practice and for teaching. Yeah,
Is it still cold in Colorado? Can you hear me?
huh?
Is it still cold in Colorado?
No,
It's warm now.
there's snow on the mountains all around. It's like a mandala, and then it's warm here where I am.
Mhm.
How is it in Thailand?
It's quite warm. It's about 34 degrees Celsius today.
Oh, okay. And Ajahn, it's okay?
Yeah, it's okay. You're used to it. You're kind of used to the hot weather. So no problem. But right now I'm using air conditioner in the room because if not, I'll be sweating.
Yeah, yeah. Sounds
So how
cool.
you doing?
So someone sponsored me for a 2-week retreat. So it was very wonderful, and it was very silent, and it was very cool. And then when he came back home, like sometimes my test is if the airplane gets bumpy, then I know that maybe it's just concentration and not freedom. So the airplane was bumpy. And so I there was, it was unpleasant when it was bumpy, but then I was still practicing, and it's very nice to have a home to come home to. So that's lucky. Sometimes I make the meditation object if there's a very free feeling, then I call that up and I make that the meditation object. And I read in a class that that the monk or the monastic do a practice of taking up the object, and then when they go out, they take out with the object, and then when they come back with the object. So yesterday I was trying that. But yeah, then sometimes I forget. Yeah.
I think you should focus on an object that's always there, such as your breath or your body is better.
Oh, better. Okay.
Because something in your mind can come and go, and then you cannot always have it. But you can
Okay.
always use your body or your breath to use it as your object of mindfulness.
Okay.
You see?
Body.
Yeah, when you're moving around, watch your body. When you're not moving around, when you're sitting, watch your breath.
Okay. Okay.
To calm your mind, to have mindfulness.
Okay. Okay.
All
Okay.
right?
Mm-hmm. When I'm moving around, to use the body. When I'm sitting, to use the breath. I will do this experiment.
Yeah, it's much easier. Because it's always there. The body is always there. The breath is always there.
Yeah. Yeah, so it doesn't depend on remembering in the same way.
Yeah.
Okay.
All
Okay.
right.
Okay.
All right. Try it. See how it works for you. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Go to Bangkok again to be Ravin.
Good evening, Prajan. Good to see you again.
Yes. How are you? Good.
I'm fine, thank you.
What can I do for you?
Prajan, I have one question regarding sensual pleasures. Whenever we talk about sensual pleasures, it's actually 5 sensual pleasures, right? It's not just sexual desire, right? But it seems that sexual desire is the most prominent of all.
Yes, it's the strongest of all. Is your sexual desire.
So the other sensual pleasures, like the enjoyment of eating, watching, singing, or this is all considered sensual pleasures that we should try to
Because
reduce.
you use sensual objects for your pleasures. What you see, what you hear, what you feel, what you taste, what you touch.
So I sometimes notice when I meditate, it's able to kind of suppress these feelings, but not for long. Sometimes after some period of time, they come back again. Is this because meditation is not enough? I need wisdom as well to permanently suppress them.
Well, maybe because your mindfulness is not strong enough yet to be able to stop your mind, your sensual cravings completely. So when you meditate, you might be able to calm it down a bit, but it's still working. And so when you run out of mindfulness, then this sensual cravings start to come back up again. So you can use wisdom, but if you cannot just use mindfulness, it's difficult to use wisdom to completely get rid of your sensual pleasure. We normally used to stop the sensual pleasure by mindfulness meditation first, by watching your breath or reciting a mantra to prevent your mind from thinking. When you don't think, then you cannot have, then your sensual pleasure craving cannot come up. It only comes out when you think of something, think of food, think of a movie, then your craving will start to come up. As long as you don't think, then it cannot come up.
Oh, I see. Because when you meditate, you stop thinking, so it cannot arise.
That's right. And when it doesn't arise, when the mind becomes still, you have peace and happiness, you have contentment. So then you have a good reason for meditating. Whenever you feel like you want to go for some sensual experience, and say it's better to go to meditate. Because once you know how to meditate, you can always do it. But with sensual experience, sometimes you can do it, sometimes you cannot do it. Depends on many different factors. Sometimes you need the money to go and buy things to satisfy your sensual cravings. If you don't have the money, then you cannot go. Like if you want to go to a concert and you have no money to pay for it. But you can always meditate and be happy for meditation. So when you succeed in meditation, then you have an alternative way of making yourself happy. So it's easier for you to resist your sensual cravings. And if you use wisdom to teach you that sensual craving is not reliable, sometimes it's there and sometimes it's not there. And you cannot always have it all the time because it's impermanent. So maybe then you can see the disadvantage of depending on sensual objects for your pleasure or for your happiness. And it's better just to stop depending on them, get rid of them. Don't rely on them for happiness. So this is how you use wisdom to teach your mind to get rid of your cravings for sensual pleasure. Once you see that sensual pleasure can be more harmful than beneficial.
They're not sustainable.
Yeah, they're not sustainable and they're not always reliable. You cannot always have it anytime you want. Because you need so many things to make it happen. You need to have strong body. If your body is sick, you cannot get an essential pleasure. Or if you run out of money, you cannot go out and spend and have a good time outside. So you rely on so many things, and one day you're not going to be able to rely on your body. Then what you gonna do when you get old and you get sick once? Then you feel bad, feel terrible, feel depressed, to the point where sometimes you want to kill yourself. That's the problem if you rely on sensual objects for your happiness. But if you have meditation, you can always have it, regardless of your body condition. When you're sick, you can still meditate. When you're old, you can meditate. When you're dying, you can meditate. So you can always be happy regardless of whatever happens to your body. So try to do more meditation and try to do less of your sensual pleasure activity. Do more meditation instead. Keep more of the 8 precepts.
Yes, actually, that was, yeah.
Go stay in a temple for a retreat, for a 7-day retreat or 5-day retreat.
Yeah, I think what I reflected to you once, Ajaan, the 7th precept is the most difficult one for me. It's the most challenging. 6 and 8 aren't too bad, but 7 is challenging.
Mm-hmm.
I need to work harder.
Okay.
But yes, thank you for your encouragement, Ajaan.
All right. Is that all?
Yes, that's all. Thank you so much.
Okay. Go to Dubai now. Aparachita. How are you?
Good evening, Prajan. Yes, I'm well. Thank you. How are you doing?
Well, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay.
Any question?
No questions. I'm trying to refine the meditation. So working on it a bit like a skill. And as you said, it is mindfulness in almost micro moments.
Yes, that's the most important thing is mindfulness.
Yes.
It's the one thing that can control your mind. Once you can keep your mind calm, you can be happy without having to have anything. Excuse me.
True.
So try to practice mindfulness all the time. Every moment of your waking hour.
Yes. And I realize how not possible it is, but putting in that effort makes a difference in a way.
Yes, you need to set up a goal so you have
Yes.
something to look up to.
Yes. Yes. True.
And you'll find your meditation will be easier when you meditate, and your mind can become calm easily.
Okay. May I ask you then, when you said set up a goal, how may I set up a goal? Like
to be mindful all day long. That's the goal you want
right.
to.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you mean like set it as a goal and then kind of review, okay, I lost it like 1,000 times today.
That's
and then
right.
again,
Yeah.
revisit it constantly.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Having something to look forward to, like a goal, something you have to do, something you have to keep, what to-do list. And there's only one list, one thing is to be mindful all the time.
Mm-hmm.
From the time you open your eyes, as soon as you open your eyes, be mindful. If you use the body, look at your body. What position the body is in right now, lying now. Okay. And when you get up, watch the body, like getting up. When you stand, watch the body standing. When your body walk, keep watching it all the time. Some people can use a mantra instead. Just recite mantra. And whatever you do, just keep reciting mantra. Don't think about anything when you don't really have to think. But if you have to think, then you have to stop your mantra temporarily and think whatever you have to think. When you finish thinking, then stop your thinking and restart your mantra again.
Well, that's actually a very deep practice to really do. Yes.
Yeah, to see how long you can maintain your mindfulness practice.
Okay.
Maybe sometimes you can use it, maybe do it for 5 minutes and it's already gone. You're back to your old way again, thinking about this, thinking about that, worrying about this, worrying about that.
Yes, I've caught myself doing that many times. It's true. And it's like, okay, I'm going to drive from here to here. I'm only going to do Bhutto. And I'm like, oh, I'm gone again. I'm gone again. But yes.
Yeah, just
but keeping it is good. Yes.
Okay. Good
So
luck
yes.
to you. Good luck to you.
Thank you. Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Okay, I'll go to Belinda now from Singapore.
Good evening, Kananda. I'm listening.
Okay. How about Kate from Penang? Kate Genso. Can you unmute your microphone? Okay.
Ajaan. I'm listening, Ajaan. Yeah. Good evening.
We'll go to Toronto to Piao and Indira. Dr. Piao is busy or he's back?
Yeah, I just came between the patient. That's fine.
morning,
I just came to grab a mask because the patient is coughing, so I'm not sure there is COVID or not. So normally I don't use the mask anymore, but still the precaution is better.
Yeah. Better be safe than sorry, huh?
Yes, when there is a cough or something, I'll wear a mask. Otherwise, I'd rather I've been wearing mask for so many years. I'm so tired to see a mask. When I see a mask, I have to run. Yeah, it's been wearing so many years.
Ajaan, I just want to clarify something. Now, when we, it's Dana, Sila, Bhavana, and so when you progress in your meditation and you spend more time meditating, but still, is it okay when you get the chance to do Dana? Is that it's okay? I mean,
if it doesn't interfere with your meditation practice.
Okay.
If it takes away your time, then you should rather spend your time meditating. If you have to choose between meditating and giving dana, then you should choose meditation instead of dana. But
Thank
if you
you,
but if you have spare time to do some dana, okay, do it.
Thank you so much. Yes, I understood.
But if you go on a retreat, you want to be alone, then you don't want to get involved with dana.
Yes,
Then
I
you
understand.
then you can stop dana temporarily. But when you come back home and you have the time to do dana, you can do dana also.
Yes, yes. Because for me right now, I do meditate. I meditate quite a bit on time that I find for myself because my mom is 92 and, so it takes a lot of time. So other times, like when I can get involved in dana, I do that because it gives me happiness,
That's right.
Yes.
Yes, it depends on the situation. If the situation requires you to do dana, then you do dana.
Thank you,
there's
Dhamma.
And also Dhamma Dana, right?
Yes.
You have a group meditation. Yeah, Dhamma. I mean, it doesn't have to be a food or anything. Dhamma itself is dana, right? That's a meditation. Dhamma Dana, yeah. We can discuss. Yeah, we have a small group. We started with our close friends, and once a month we get together and try to meditate together. And then we ask to do some homework at home, do some meditation
every day.
Yeah, every day. So we have a discussion. But I think that it's helpful for others too. So all of us.
Yes. Good, just do.
Thank you, Ajaan. Thank you so much.
I just want to see you.
Every day, yes, seeing
Okay.
every once a week, seeing you makes a huge difference listening to you. So thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much.
Theron Sarna.
Okay, you're welcome. Good to see you too.
Thank you.
Okay, to Intan from Indonesia.
Good evening, Ajaan.
Mhm.
Ajaan, I want to ask Ajaan about mindfulness. Sometimes I think I have a problem. I try to practice mindfulness every time, but like example, when I walking and I focus for my step, if somebody call me, I cannot respond. I cannot respond. So sometimes I think it's problem for me. So how can practice mindfulness and also can respond if somebody call us?
Well, if you're in a situation in which you have to respond, then you have to get ready for responding.
Yes, the problem is I cannot respond. I need more maybe some maybe 1 or 2 minutes after that I just I hear the sound they call my name. So I think my response is very slow. So how I can respond fastly like usual?
I'm not sure what kind of mindfulness you're having, because if you have mindfulness, you can respond right away if you wanted to. So I'm not sure what kind of mindfulness you're talking about. Maybe sleepiness might be a better word than mindfulness.
Oh. So it is not the mindfulness.
No, because if you have mindfulness, you're always alert. And you can respond to anything right away.
It's not because I focus for my step.
I don't know how you do it. But with mindfulness, you should be able to be aware of everything around you also.
Okay. Okay. The second question. Last week, Ajaan said, spiritual beings cannot eat the food, but why some people can see the spiritual beings, especially hungry ghosts, if we do the patidana and we ask our relatives to come, we can see they, especially the hungry ghosts, can eat the food.
No, the spiritual being don't eat human food. They eat the spiritual food, which is the merit that you make when you give dana. Then then you can transfer the spiritual food to them.
But why some people can see the spiritual beings? They can see the hungry ghost eat the food at the table.
Well, don't ask me. You ask them. Like, how can they see it? Maybe they're hallucinating or not. You don't know. Or imagining something.
Okay.
So
Thank you, Ajaan.
don't pay attention too much to what people say.
Okay.
If you cannot prove it for yourself, then just forget it. Okay.
Okay. The third question is when I read Ajaan biography, at their life, he do the tudong to find a place for meditation. But now, some monks do tudong from Thailand to Indonesia, or walking through Malaysia and Singapore for attend our Indonesian National Waisak at Temple Borobudur.
Yes.
So I want to ask, what is the really meaning tudong?
Tudong really means to go to seclusion, to go into solitude, to be away from people, not walking on the street and let people see you walking. Tudong. That's just maybe showing off or teaching people how to do the tudong, or demonstrating the tudong practices. But real tudong practices, you don't go into any. You don't go to where there are people. You go into where there are no people. So nobody knows that you go on tudong. That's the real tudong. The real tudong, people don't know that you're going tudong. The false tudong is the one that you demonstrate to people. This is how I do tudong. By walking from Malaysia to Indonesia, for instance. And put it on social, Facebook every day, posting how far have you gone now? And this is what some monks do in Thailand. I walk from the south to the north of Thailand. And this is not tudong. This is not real tudong. The real meaning of tudong is to go into seclusion, solitude, to be away from everybody, everything, so that you can concentrate on your meditation practice. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Ajaan.
All right, we'll go to Sri and check next from Vancouver. You want to go to Dom from Vancouver to Toronto?
I use car.
Or maybe fly.
Yeah, we drove from there to here last time, so but tudong. So then the real tudong, then you'll meet a lot of wild animals.
Yeah, you go live with the animals. You don't go with people. You want to get away from people because they are distractions. When you see people, you have to talk to them. You have to do things with them.
And the whole reason is that will disturb our mindfulness.
That's right. Will distract your mind. You cannot concentrate on your breath or on your body. When you see people or hear things, see things, when you see sensual objects, this can be very distractive to your mind, to your concentration, to your mindfulness. This is one of the hindrances, sensual pleasure, cravings for sensual pleasure. So you want to stay away from sensual objects, not go near them. You don't want to go through the cities and towns and see people and things. You want to go into the forest, to the mountain, where you are alone.
So tudong is going away from the sensual pleasure. Tudong.
Sensual
the
object, yeah, sensual objects.
sensual objects.
Sight, sound, smell, taste, and tactile objects that can cause you to have cravings for them. See? When you see a picture on the billboard, of food, and you can become hungry right away when you walk on the street, and there are billboard signs advertising food or whatever. So this is not real tudong. I think it's if you can call it demonstration tudong. Demonstrating to people how monks do tudong. They walk, because there's no road in the forest. You have to walk in the forest. But the demonstration tudong, they walk on the street, walk on the highway.
But the real tudong, like how do they get food? Because if you are deep in the forest.
Oh, you have to be near a village. You don't go without. You still have to go on arms rounds, and so you have to know where a village is, and you usually will stay about maybe 2 kilometers away from the village. And in the morning you can walk to the village and collect food and come back and eat at your place.
Not deep in the forest. Like it's
No, in the forest where hill tribe people maybe. The Ajaan spent in northern Chiang Mai, in northern Thailand near the hill tribe people village.
The hill tribe people in it. But Ajaan, I'm not sure if it's true, but he has I think if he's in the deep forest, he can like travel really quickly. Is it because he has psychic power? I'm not sure. Maybe I'm just hearing, because he can go like really far, and like if he can travel out really quickly.
I don't know. I've never heard of it before. Psychic power has nothing to do with the body,
So it's more mental.
Yeah.
It's not that he can fly or travel really quick. No.
But in his meditation, he can connect with spiritual beings. Okay, anything else?
One more question, Ajaan. When we say avijja paccaya sankhara, is the desire like part of that avijja as well?
Well, avijja is ignorant. Ignorant of where the true happiness is, where the real happiness is. Doesn't know where the real happiness is. The real happiness is inside the mind, not outside of the mind. So avijja think that happiness is outside of the mind, in the sensual realms of existence. So it sends the mind toward a body, to connect to a body, so that it can then receive the sensual objects for pleasure. But the sensual objects are not real happiness. They don't give you real happiness. They don't give you contentment or satisfaction, permanent satisfaction. They give you brief satisfaction, and then they run out of steam. Then you need to replenish them. And you have to keep replenishing all the time. No matter how much you get from them, they will always run out, and you have to get new one. And eventually your body will die, and then you can no longer get any more sensual pleasure. Then you have to wait for the next birth to get a new body, so that you can then use the new body to get more sensual objects for your pleasure. And so every time you get a body, you have to go through the suffering of aging, sickness, and death. See? But if you know that true happiness is in your mind, just keep your mind calm. Get rid of your desire, your cravings. Then you don't have to do anything. And this is something the Buddha discovered by himself. For all of us, we don't know this. We think that in order for us to be happy, we have to have things that we can see, can hear, can eat, can smell, can taste, can touch, to make us happy. But it's a brief or temporary happiness. They don't last. And when we don't have them, we feel empty, we feel lost, we feel lonely, we feel sad. So we have to go have more of them. So we have to keep pursuing after them. That's where the word of pursuit of happiness comes from. You have to go after happiness. But in fact, real happiness, you don't have to go after it. It's right here with you. You don't know that. See? All you have to do is stop your pursuit of the other type of happiness. And you'll get to the real happiness, which is in yourself, which is contentment. Once you stop your craving, you'll get contentment. So this is avijja. Instead of stopping your cravings, you have to go after your cravings, because you think this will make you happy. Oh, I want to have a hamburger. You have to go get it. I have to have a beer. You have to go get it. But then, how long will this happiness last? Briefly, right? Then you need a new hamburger. You need a bottle of beer. But if you stop your craving, then you don't have to have anything. And you can be content, happy without having anything. That's why you meditate, to stop your cravings. When your cravings stop, then you feel peaceful and happy, content.
Oh, okay. So, Ajaan, that answer part of my question. Because sometimes, like when I meditate, and if I go to mantra, like Buddha, and then can feel a little bit of happiness. That's part of it, because
yes, your mind start to become calm, and you start to feel the happiness, but not yet the complete happiness, the total happiness, which is like something that you never experienced before.
a small happiness.
It's a wow experience, once you get there, it's wow, you say wow. If you don't have a wow, then you don't get there yet.
Yeah. That's the four jhana, right? You're referring to.
Yeah, that's when the mind becomes still, perfectly still.
Yeah.
And you feel, wow, this is something. If you haven't got that yet, then you don't get there,
Yeah.
So once you get there, you get there. You don't have to ask what it's like. But just keep mindful and concentrate on your meditation object. Try to stop the mind from thinking. When the mind eventually stops thinking, then you get this wow experience coming up.
Yeah, then I'll call you.
You won't call me because there's no need for you to call me. Because you won't have any desire to call me anyway.
Okay, I call that, just I get a what?
Yeah. If you want to call me, it means you haven't got yet. You lost it. When you got this, you don't want to tell anybody. Because nobody will believe you anyway.
Think like you're crazy.
That's right. Don't talk to people who doesn't know this thing. They think you're crazy. You can only talk to those who have the same experience, or else they think you're crazy. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. I have to keep running now. Almost run out of time. Next will be Gary from Singapore. Hi, Gary. You got any question?
Hello, Ajaan. I'm just listening in. No questions. Thank you.
Okay. We have Saket next. Hi, Saket. You're from California, right?
Yes, that's correct, Tanajan.
Okay.
And, I wanted to understand, Tanajan, actually, because we are far away from Thailand. mm, First of all, we appreciate very much the opportunity to listen to your talks and to connect with you via Zoom. And I also want to meet some monastics who are here in the United States. And I was wondering, any guidance you can give in terms of how do we decide that, yes, these are some monastics we would like to listen to the Dhamma from. And just to share a little more, Tanajan, sometimes in my mind, I wonder, hey, are they following the Vinaya correctly or are they not following it correctly? And should I use that as a way to decide who I should listen to? Could you give any guidance here, please?
Well, I think basically, if you're not close to them, you cannot tell how their behavior is like. So what you can do is read the teaching, listen to the talks, and see whether it's useful to you or not. If you think it's fine, if you find it useful, then you rely on the teaching. But don't worry about how they practice, because you don't know yet, because there's no way you can prove whether they're keeping with the Vinaya or not. You can be a little bit skeptical about that. But if the teaching is beneficial and you can use it and to help you, then use the teaching as you know, as the guide for your path, to your path.
Okay, Tanajan. And also sometimes we hear that because they're not in Thailand and they're in the United States, they may not have that sort of support system. And so therefore they have to
compromise.
Compromise, yes.
Okay.
Doubts in my mind. For example, I sometimes hear that monks should not touch money, but then sometimes they would use gift card or debit card and things like that. And then that again kind of brings some confusion in my mind, or if they're driving and things of that nature. So I get a little confused on these points, which is where my question's coming from, Ajahn.
Yes, sometimes some monks decide to in order for convenience sake, they compromise the monastic code. They say, well, you know, normally with money you need somebody to keep it for you and then buy things for you. But sometimes when you're in a country where people are so busy, you cannot find anybody who would volunteer to do this work. So you need to find some alternative. But ideally, if you should spend money on yourself. You know, but you might have to spend money on, say, on the monastery. You might have to build a monastery, build a house or something, or then you need the money to do it with.
Yes.
But how are you going to do it? Can you find somebody you can trust with the money and let them keep the money or not? So I think sometimes they have to set up a community, a committee with a few people to guard the money. If one person, it can be dangerous, because if that person decides to take the money and run.
Yeah.
So this is something that you might have to, have some quite open mind about it, you know, because sometimes they're in a situation where they have to use the money, And maybe if they cannot find anybody to be trusted, maybe then they have to keep the money themselves. But as long as they don't use it on themselves for sensual pleasure, then that's okay. If they use it for the common good, for the monastery, for the... So I don't know. I haven't been in a foreign country as a monk, so I don't know. I don't have to worry about this problem.
Yes, yes, Tanajan. But this also helps a lot. Thank you very much, Tanajan. Thank you.
I think you should pay more attention to the teaching if you need somebody to guide you in your practice. Maybe sometimes you have to, since you cannot prove yet whether they are monastic, they follow the monastic code faithfully or not. But if the teaching is good, beneficial, and you can use it for your practice, then just stick to the teaching. Don't worry about how do they keep the monastic code.
Thank you, Tanajan.
All right, okay. I think next is Alvin. Alvin, you're the last person today.
Namaskar, Ajaan. I don't have any question tonight. Thanks, just listening. Thank you.
Okay, then we'll go to Kunjuk for more questions.
กราบนมัสการค่ะ We have 11 questions this evening. The first question is a Facebook question from last week, and it's a reread with more clarification. And it's the question from Metta Vandana. Can Ajaan please advise antidotes used to counter against the hindrances which arise, like when anger arises, not only don't react, but also replace it with the antidote, loving kindness and metta. Can Ajaan advise other antidotes used for the rest of the hindrances? Thank you.
There are 5 hindrances, and you just mentioned one, anger. When you're angry at somebody, in order to get rid of your anger, you have to forgive that person. If you can forgive, then your anger will disappear. Because if you're angry, you will find difficult to meditate. So you have to forgive the person who did something wrong to you and make you angry. If you can forgive, then your anger will disappear. Next hindrance, if you have doubt in the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, then you have to study more about the Buddha's Dhamma and Sangha, study more about the Buddha's teaching, study more about the Buddha himself, or try to stay or live and learn from a noble disciple if you can find one. Then your doubt in the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha can be dispelled. Next, I think there's the sensual pleasure, cravings for sensual pleasure. This you have to keep the 8 precepts, for instance, in order to counter your sensual cravings. Or try to go live in seclusion away from the sensual objects. All right? Or if it's sexual desire, then you have to contemplate on asubha, on the 32 parts of the body, or the stages of the corpse, the decaying corpse, in order to stop your sexual desire. And if you have sloth or torpor, it means you eat too much. So you have to try to reduce your food consumption. Like keeping the 8 precepts, you don't eat after midday, for instance. Or if you still find you're still sleepy, then you might have to reduce more by maybe just eating once a day. Okay. Another way to counter this sloth or torpor or sleepiness is good to go meditate in a scary place, like in a cemetery, in a forest, where there are wild animals. This can make your sleepiness disappear, because you'll be alert. And next is, if you have anger, you have doubt, you have sloth and torpor. If you have restlessness and agitation, that means you don't have enough mindfulness. So you have to practice more of mindfulness. Because with mindfulness, you can reduce your thoughts. And by reducing your thought, you can reduce the restlessness and agitation. And the last one is what? I cannot figure. Anger, sensual pleasure, doubt. It's not, and that's all. There's all 5 of them now, I think.
The next 7 questions are from the assistant Gmail. The first question is from Sam from Australia. If my mind is restless and thoughts keep forming during meditation, I use mantra, resting, 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 to tell my mind to rest. Can I use different mantra words based on the condition of my mind during meditation?
If it works for you, then yes, anything, any mantra you can use, any method you can devise to calm your mind, that's okay.
The next question is from Yeti Aprilia. Can I listen to your YouTube Dhamma channel as my meditation object?
Yes, you can use that also as a way of meditating. But it might not get you to deep calm. It might get you to a certain level, but not deep enough. If you want to go deeper, you might have to watch your breath after you finish listening to Dhamma talk and continue on with watching your breath.
The next 4 questions are from Diana Angeli from Canada. Question 3, the mindfulness, is it only for breath or can it also be for body, like when functioning and moving in daily life, working and talking and etc.?
Yes, when you're working, when you're moving, you use the body as your object of mindfulness. But when you're sitting, when your body is not doing anything, then you use the breath as your object of mindfulness.
Question 4, when thinking to solve the problem, would it be helpful to keep with mindfulness, or is it better to focus on thinking or doing only for the work, solving problem for the solution?
Oh, you have to think when you have to solve problem, but you think rationally rather than emotionally.
The next question, is it not more helpful for me to go to dana and meditation at the monastery to partake in chant for focusing and also for dana with mindfulness, and especially with my child, to teach her those external instruments, because at the monastery, the space is conducive for meditation for me and my girl, rather than staying at home with all the neighbors and the distractions, social events. In this case, I think it's beneficial that taking those steps in dana is more wholesome. Is this correct?
Yes.
The next question, if mindfulness of breath is weak at the moment of conflict in family relationships, feelings are overwhelming for others and also becoming so difficult in reaction for myself, unpleasant sensations and difficult moment in life, which concept is better to focus on? I understand anicca. However, at the moment, the reaction is still stronger. Please kindly advise.
Sometimes on anatta, if you can reflect on anatta, that can be useful. By anatta, I mean you have to look at everything as like they are like the weather. You cannot control them, you cannot change them, and you cannot do anything with them. You just have to learn to live with them. So try to use anatta. You know, when everything else fails, just say, oh, everything is anatta. And all you have to do is just try to live with them. That's all.
The next question is from Samanji. The 4 foundations of mindfulness are mindfulness of body, feelings, mind, and Dhamma. Can a person keen to enter the path to become enlightened choose and practice either of the 4, or is it necessary to practice all 4?
See, the word foundation of mindfulness, it can become a little bit confused, because when we talk about mindfulness, it only deal with the first part, the mindfulness of breathing and mindfulness of the body. This is the practice of mindfulness. But the other part, they are more for vipassana, wisdom, like contemplating on the nature of the body as being anicca, birth, aging, sickness, and death, for instance, or asubha, not being attractive. This is more wisdom, or vedana, feeling. This is learning how to live with painful feeling. So this is more about wisdom. But the practice of the teaching in the four foundation of mindfulness they are teaching that we have to follow step by step. The first step is to develop mindfulness by being mindful of your body movement, kaya kata sati, and then when you're sitting when you're meditating, sitting down, then you use anapanasati, watching your breath, until you eventually develop jhana. Once you have developed jhana, the next thing is to go to vipassana level. Study the nature of the body first, that the body is anicca, dukkha, anatta, and let go of your attachment to your body. And then you go to vedana, feeling. Study the nature of feeling as being anicca, dukkha, anatta also. And then let go of your attachment to them. And then you go to study the nature of the mind, which is constantly changing. The things in the mind keeps constantly changing. The mind states, the mind keeps changing. Sometimes it has good feeling. Sometimes it has bad feeling. Sometimes happy. Sometimes it's sad. They are constantly changing, and you have to learn how to deal with them by accepting them. They are anicca, dukkha, anatta. So once you can let go of all this attachment to your body, to your feeling, and to your mental state, then you become enlightened, fully enlightened.
The next three questions are for Pauline Soon. Can Ajaan explain why meditation is a merit to our life?
Well, it makes you happy. Happiness is merit. Happy of heart, happy of mind, not happy of body.
Next question, is holding 8 precepts beneficial to our meditation practice?
Yes, it can support your meditation practice because it will give you the time to do the meditation. If you don't keep the 8 precepts, for instance, if you keep the 5 precepts, then you can still have sex with your partner. You can watch television. You can eat anytime you want. Then you won't have the time to meditate. But if you keep the 8 precepts, then you cannot do all these activities. Then you will have the time for meditation.
And from Pauline Soon, can Ajaan show me the way to let go as we are lay people?
Let go of what?
The way to let go as we are lay people.
You have to see everything as harmful to you, not beneficial to you. You can look at money as being harmful to you, then you give up all your money. If you find your wife is harmful to you, give up your wife. Everything is harmful to you, but you don't see it harmful, that's all. Your delusion keeps telling you they are good for you, they are beneficial to you. But in fact, they're the one that cause you suffering, right?
And the last question is from Sulan. Dear Ajaan, thank you for your time with us. What happens if a monk goes into real tudong and real seclusion, falls sick? Can they bring medication with them to prevent sickness, or can they plug herbs for self-medication? Thanks, Satu.
They usually use the Dhamma medicine, which is vipassana. Study the nature of pain and let go of the pain. Study the nature of the body, that one day the body is gonna die. So if it's gonna die now, let it happen. So they don't worry too much about pain or sickness or death. Because they're dead, they go into the forest to give up the body, to give up their attachment to the body. So if they should get sick, then they consider it to be a test for them, whether they can pass this test or not, whether they can get let go of their attachment to the body and let the body get sick and die.
That is all for the questions.
So medicine is not the thing they worry about. What they worry about is whether they can get rid of their attachment to the body or not. If they want to get rid of their attachment, then they don't take any medicine with them. Because by having medicine, it means you still want to cling to your body. Okay, that's all the question, right? Okay, that's about all the time we have for today, tonight. Thank you for your participation, your company. I hope this meeting is useful to you and could help you advance in your practice. In the meantime, please stay safe, stay mindful, and keep on practicing. And if all goes well, I'll see you all at the same time next week. Thank you and goodbye.
Thank you,
Thank you, Ajaan.
Thank you, Ajaan.
Thank you, Ajaan.